Hi, I'm Heather Poduska. I'm the host of a new show here at WinCAM called Winchester.org. The purpose of this program is to highlight some of the many nonprofit and service organizations that serve the Winchester community. A lot of times we see the names of these organizations or we hear about them, but we don't really know what they do. So this is their opportunity to share with us their mission and their purpose and to let us know how they benefit the community. And you might learn that they benefit you directly, and hopefully you'll also learn how you can benefit them. So welcome and enjoy. Today I'm here with David Gauthier, and he's the Executive Director at WinCAM. So welcome, David.
Thanks, Heather. Thanks for having me.
So can you tell us a little bit about the history of WinCAM?
Sure. WinCAM as a nonprofit was put together back in 2000. And what WinCAM does is we're the local channels here in Winchester, the local cable channels. So viewers will check out local programming there. They'll also see the municipal meetings and different things that go on around town. But essentially, our mission is more of a service organization and a learning institution. What we do most of the time is to train people who live or work in Winchester to make their own TV shows, sort of like this one. So any resident that wants to come in and involved with us, they can sign up to be a member. There's a small annual membership fee, and we provide the training and the equipment and the airtime so that people can have their own voice within the community.
So you said small. What is the annual membership fee?
Well, it's as little as $10 for a senior or a student, or it's $25 for an adult individual, and it's $100 for an organizational membership.
So it's $25 for the average person to come in to get trained to use the cameras, use the control room? And
yeah, we have a lot of different production areas. I mean, we're sitting in our studio right now, so we have a full studio production facility. We're really excited about our brand new control room that we just spent a lot of funds on, but it's a really state-of-the-art, brand new control room. And we also have field equipment and post-production facilities. So we're teaching people not only to do things right here in the studio, but they can take the cameras out and record things out at different locations around town, come back in and put them together in editing, and we'll put that on the air as well.
So a budding filmmaker could come in and learn how to use the equipment and the cameras and the studio for around $25 for the membership fee. And how much would that cost them to go to learn that at a school or another training place?
Well, you could, if you went to a four-year college for our video production, it could cost you, as you know, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even to get certified in a program like Final Cut Pro, which we teach for editing, that could cost you a couple of $1,000s. But, we're doing that as a service to the town. We're teaching anybody on any level, really, and that's an important thing to mention as well. There's no age limit. So we have very young kids that are involved from the grade school level, middle school level, on up through the high school, and adults and even seniors that are involved learning this stuff. The only caveat that we have is that when you're using WinCAM equipment to produce the program, that it ends up on the channel. So we're not providing equipment for people to do commercial ventures or to do private projects. We're loaning this equipment out, and the payback that the producer has is giving us the program that we can then share with the community.
But so it can't be commercial, but aside from that, the programming is really up to the person filming?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you could join up at WinCAM and have a specific idea in mind. Say you watch a lot of cooking shows on television. You say, well, I can do that. We have a couple of high school students that produce a cooking show here. They take the equipment out, they go home, do it in the kitchen, and we can support you doing something like that. You could join WinCAM and not have an idea for a show at all. Maybe you just have an interest in technology. We can hook you up with the kind of people that have shows going on. Some people don't work on their own shows, but they'll come in and they'll run cameras or they'll work in the control room or do lighting or something like that for somebody else's show. So you don't have to have something specific in mind in order to get involved. What we're looking for is just some people with some energy that maybe have the time and the interest in this kind of technology, and we can sort of help you along the way. We try to help members as best we can to have members working with members, so that it's not the staff that's actually producing the bulk of the programming here. We do some, but we would like it to be the members that are actually producing the program. The staff is producing this program. This is something that we're doing as a service. We offered it as a membership special to organizations as well. And we also produce municipal meetings like selectmen meetings and school committee meetings and the town meetings twice a year. And some other different things, but most of the times what you see on the channels these are produced by members.
So it's community shows by community members.
And for the community as well. So really that's the kind of thing that we're trying to foster.
Great, great. And what shows do you have on now? Like if I turned on channel 8?
Well, that's an exciting thing. And before I answer your question about the specific programs, I'd like to talk a little bit about the channel lineup since you mentioned it. We have 2 different carriers here in Winchester, Comcast and Verizon. So on Comcast, you can see WinCAM on channel 8, which is the public channel, channel 9, which is the government channel, and then channel 22, which is the brand new educational channel. We're really excited that we added a 3rd channel on both carriers. Verizon carries us on 36 and 37. And we're so new in this whole thing that we're not actually sure what the 3rd channel number is going to be.
But there is going to be a 3rd channel.
In the near future, we're going to have WinCAM on 3 different channels, and that's what we call a traditional PEG access setup, which is public, education, and government. A lot of different towns have 2 channels. Some have 1, some have 2, but most have 3. And you sort of separate your programming that way. Your government programming is mostly things like town meetings, selectmen meetings, municipal things, and government affairs type programming. Education has to do with the schools generally, and we'll probably have school committee meetings on there as well as school performances and some sports as well. And the public access is sort of the catch-all. All the things that are done, different events around town, music shows, art shows, all of those different things. So you mentioned some of the shows that we have running. We have a couple of series programs that have been running for several years. We have Music Closet, which is produced by a member of ours by the name of Jeff Dearman. And Jeff brings in different bands from around the area. And that's a music show. It's done, usually at least twice a month, sometimes up to 4 times a month here in the studio.
So the bands come here.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting actually.
So if you have a band and you want to be on TV,
check out wincam.org
right.
and you can find out information. We've had bands come from all the way from New Jersey and from the Middle Atlantic come on up. So the show is gaining some notoriety.
Yeah.
And another one that has some good notoriety is Visual Radio, and that's hosted by Joe Viglione. He's a member of ours. He's had some pretty high-level guests over the last 6 months. We had Gilbert Gottfried in here. We had the comedian Gallagher in here, as well as others. He interviewed Jodie Foster in the field at one point, too. So Joe is able to work his magic and attracts certain guests, and we're able to then turn that around and share it with the rest of the community. So Winchester Football Weekly is another one that just started this year. It's probably wrapping up its first season. A lot of people probably caught that on Monday nights during the football season. And we really enjoyed bringing that to the people because it was one of those shows that people really responded well to. There was a lot of community involvement, a lot of community buzz about it because, when it comes to youth sports, that's something that everybody wants to see. And it wasn't just covering Winchester High School. It was also going down to the Pop Warner and to all the levels. So all the kids that were playing football got some notoriety in that show. So we really got some good stuff.
That's great. So, and I heard you say buzz, so that people knew about it. Was it word of mouth? But if you wanted to tune into, like if I wanted to watch the football show, how do I know when it's on? I mean, you said Monday night, but how do you know it's on?
Well, our most up-to-date schedules are available on our website, and that's wincam.org. That's where you're going to find all the information for WinCAM. What some people don't know is you don't necessarily have to be a Comcast or Verizon subscriber to watch WinCAM. You don't even have to be in Winchester to watch WinCAM. because we actually stream all of our content live. So when something's on the air, we're actually streaming it over the internet from our website as well. So somebody that's from out of town or doesn't have cable can also have access to that. We don't have an on-demand server where you could go and sort of watch the program whenever you wanted to. It has to be on the schedule, but that's something that we're working toward, that on-demand thing. The schedule is also available on patch.com. And weekly in the Star, we run some features. But the best way is to get it from the website, or you can simply call us. You know, if you're looking for something in particular, call us anytime, and we can let you know when those things are on.
So if you were a student and you gave a recital or something like that, and you wanted your grandma in California to watch it, if you found out when it was scheduled, you could.
Yep, Grandma in California could go to the website and watch that. And we could also make DVD copies available too if you wanted to purchase one. And we're, you know, again, we're nonprofit, so we're not making a lot of money on that to cover the cost of us burning a DVD. It costs a little, you know, just $10 to make a copy of a show, and then you can keep that.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're somewhat new to WinCAM.
Yep.
Can you tell me what your thoughts are about the direction, if it's any
Sure.
different from what it has been moving forward?
I've been around now since early February of 2011, and you know, since I've been here, we've really taken WinCAM a step forward. I think, you know, there were some breaks in personnel here, and there wasn't an executive director for a while. So, you know, Joe LaRocca, who's still here with us, thankfully, was sort of working here by himself. So he was holding everything together until we could really round out the staff and move things forward. But we've added a lot of different equipment. We talked about the brand new control room. We also have a brand new portable studio in place. So, you know, setting up like you have a system here, like a 3-camera shoot, you can actually do that out in the field.
Wow.
With this box that we have. We've actually reconfigured the studio, the space itself. We are located in the rear of the high school, in case people are interested. And yeah, you can just drop by. You don't have to go through the high school. We have our own separate entrance to the back. You can drop in at WinCAM anytime. But we saw the need for more space, and you know, we had a limited footprint. So what we did is we just reconfigured what we had. We moved some offices and made the edit bays a little more private by adding some things. We, you know, did some simple things like put some paint on the wall and clean stuff up. So, I mean, physically, WinCAM has made some big strides. We're also trying to outreach to the community, make ourselves a little more visible within the community so that people understand what we do and understand that they can be involved.
Yeah, and I think that that's a really great point, and it's the point of this show,
Yep.
and was to let the people of Winchester know about the nonprofits. And I don't know if you want to say anything more about WinCAM's vision of that and why that was important for you guys.
Well, the idea behind this show, you mean? Yeah, I just think that there are so many worthy nonprofits out there, and you know, it was sort of a two-pronged attack. We want to get more nonprofits involved in what WinCAM does, first and foremost, because, you know, just for the membership fee, you know, we're providing a whole lot to an organization to help them get their message out.
Absolutely.
Not just through this show, but they could do their own thing too. They could also borrow our camcorders and record some of their performances. Say, for example, the community music school. They record their performances. They can burn their own DVDs and then they bring them down. We're able to share them with the community. And our hope is that when people see that, you know, such a beautiful performance on the air, they think, well, you know, maybe that's something that I'd like to get involved with, or maybe my children or something like that. So all of the different nonprofits in Winchester, I think, can benefit from being involved in WinCAM. So we wanted to get this going to get more involvement and to also help showcase that, because we have the vehicle, we have the channels.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're able to really help out another nonprofit just by getting the word out there, and then hopefully they're gonna see some value in that.
Well, I think that what you said was such a great thing too, because I was thinking of Karen Connolly and the Winchester Foundation for Educational Excellence, and she was talking about the clickers that the teachers have in the room, and if they wanted to use cameras to go in and show some of the work that the grants go for, and then come back on WinCAM and show the public, yes, this is how this nonprofit works and where the money goes and the benefit of it.
Yeah, it's important, I think, to a nonprofit. You know, it's often difficult to even establish an identity where people know exactly what you do. We struggle with that, and just think about it. We have all of this at our disposal. We have television channels, we have the internet, you know, social networking and all that stuff, and we still struggle with getting our message out and letting people know what we do on a day-to-day, year-to-year basis. Yeah. Imagine now, you know, someone like WFEE, and they're trying to get their message out and let people know that they're really important to this community. So just by them getting involved here at WinCAM, we can help them take that next step to educate, you know, the general public and to hopefully garner more support for their organization.
Yeah, I think that's really wonderful. So one of the questions I had when I came to WinCAM is, what happens if I take a camera out and I break it? Or my kid breaks it, which is more likely to happen.
Well, you know, we obviously hope that something like that doesn't happen, but we understand that accidents do happen. And we've got a lot of safeguards in place to protect our equipment, because we understand that the equipment that we have here is really for the community equipment. So if something goes down, if something gets broken, and it does, it's just part of having technology, you know, that's one less camera or one less computer that we have available to our whole membership. So we try to be real careful about that. We do have, obviously, some good insurance that covers some of that. A member would be responsible for a deductible if, say, something got broken or stolen. But we generally will send a novice out with a lower end camcorder as well, you know, something that's less expensive, so that they're learning on the fly and they're not really doing trial and error with a really expensive piece of equipment. Right. So we're pretty, you know, the staff here has been around for the most part, and they understand what we're doing here, and they understand that, you know, maybe there are some people that join up WinCAM that have some experience and that do this kind of thing either for a living or have in the past, but the bulk of the people that join are novices, you know, so we can train someone really from the ground up, you know, and that's a great thing about the training here at WinCAM, is that it really has a high ceiling to it. Yeah. You know, there's real basic stuff that people can learn, and it can grow and grow and grow from there, because we just have some really high-end software and that kind of thing. A lot of the kids take to that really pretty quickly, but there really are endless possibilities.
So if you had an idea for a show or a concept for a show, but it wasn't completely gelled, could someone come in and say, I want to do a show about whatever, dog grooming, but I don't quite have it formulated? Could they come in and would someone here at WinCAM help them sort of pull the pieces together?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's a good idea for a show, actually.
Any dog groomers out there?
Dog groomers, come on down. I think that's one of the things that we do pretty well. Some people come in with a specific idea for a program. They say, you know, I want to do the dog grooming show or the cooking show, and that's fine. We can help you get to that goal. But there are people that come in and they don't necessarily have an idea for a show. They just have some sort of inclination toward technology. So we can help that person get involved with other members that maybe, you know, like I said earlier, maybe they're producing a program, we can get you involved with them. But we will help people along. We don't say, okay, we're going to teach you in a class and then we're going to throw you next to the computer and you do your show. Well, that's only doing half our job. We really have to be there for support as well. So a lot of times when people are producing, they're going to need some help along to get things going. And I think that the staff does a good job of following up with that and helping people get to their goals.
Well, it's such a great resource here in Winchester. So I'm wondering why people aren't just banging down the door to get in.
Well, I think, you know, there's different reasons. You know, it can be time consuming. You know, producing a show isn't as quick as just coming down and sitting on a set and, you know, talking about whatever you're talking about. There are things to be considered. There's sets to be put together, lights to be hung, graphics to be created, and all that stuff. So some people may or may not have the time. Some people may or may not be inclinated toward this kind of thing. But, you know, personally, I think that I like to say that there's probably something for everybody down here.
Yeah, do you think that part of it is just sort of intimidation about not knowing how to do things or being nervous about that?
Yeah, there's probably part of that. You know, there's probably a bit of that involved.
Which they shouldn't be, because you guys are so great at helping.
We make it easy. We try to make any experience here at WinCAM easy. We're here for the community. We're here for the residents of Winchester. So we're trying to make it easy. We try to make it easy to be a member. And actually, it's worth mentioning that you don't even have to be a Winchester resident to be a member at WinCAM.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, some, if you go around different public access stations, some of them you have to be a resident of that municipality. In WinCAM, we don't, because we see the value of some other members. You know, maybe they moved out of town and they wanted to stay with WinCAM. We see the value in that. Or we have other producers that maybe live in a budding town, but they'd rather come here to do their thing. Well, we see value in that. So we open up the membership. We're making it easy to be a member. We try to make it easy to become certified using our equipment, and we try to make it easy for you to get your show on the air, to get the most exposure and the most payback for all of the effort that you put into it.
So does that mean, I assume that means that the equipment doesn't have to stay in Winchester either, or does it?
Well, no, but if it's leaving Winchester, we kind of want to know.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something that's going far, we can make exceptions, but you know, our general rule is it really should be in Winchester, because that's sort of what we're doing. You know, if it's something that that's maybe over in Woburn or something, and it has some, you know, people of Winchester might be interested.
Like if it was a Winchester team or something.
Yeah,
playing
absolutely. You know, we're not saying, you know, stop at the town line and
check
you can't
your
go
camera
any further.
at the door.
Yeah. But you know, we kind of need to know, and we try to just stay on top of, you know, the equipment and making sure that it's protected, because again, it's not something that we're doing just because we want to be heavy-handed about something. We have to protect it because we're protecting it for everybody.
Right. So if you think that you might want to join, or you have an idea, what would be the process of getting in touch? And
it's very easy. You know, there's lots of information on the website, and once again, that's wincam.org. Real easy to remember. There's all kinds of information there. There's some sample videos, and you know, just there's staff bios, and just there's all kinds of different information that you can garner from that. And if you'd like to take a step further, you can email us, wincam@wincam.org. That goes to all the staff. You can call us at any time, give us a ring, or just drop by. You know, and we make it real simple. You know, there's obviously some paperwork to do when you first join up. You have to go through an orientation, which you went through as well. You know, we sat down, we went through the rules and regulations. Once we did that, now it's time to start doing your training. So it may take a little bit of time to get things going, but you know, I think in my mind, we try to make it as easy as possible, and I think that what you get in return as a member is well worth the time and effort.
I agree, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing everything about WinCam and for all that you do for Winchester. It's really, really a wonderful resource, and we're really lucky to have you guys. So thanks so much.
And we appreciate you. And we should
you.
mention too that you're a WinCam member and you're doing this on your own time. And you know, that's something that you should be commended for too.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks.